and the only reason I would have sat through it, but the reason I feel like we can't is because we are commenting on some of the finest, some of the finest technical difficulties you could ever find on a program, and just handling it in such piss poor fashion.
That's
so,
right.
I've been saying for weeks now that John has gotten boring. And it seems like the Dabbleverse as a whole is kind of starting to agree with me. You see people starting to pivot towards Aaron and other things. Um, this is what I think John should be doing if he can stomach like getting made fun of. Again, we try to give these people advice, they never listen. It seems like a worthless task, but I'll continue to do it. John should have horrible guests on and ask them all these. He doesn't have to know they're horrible. He doesn't have to know he's horrible at interviewing. Just have guests on, and this will happen because it can't happen to someone 75,000 times and it always be the guest's fault. There has to be some responsibility on John at this point. Although, as you can tell from our last segment, I do empathize with him a tad. but no, Dylan was nowhere near this bad. Listen to this. So John is having. Do you know this woman, Casey? I don't. This is where.
Of course, I know her.
This is my line of Stern knowledge, where I'm pretty well versed in Stern. I have no idea who this woman is.
Wow, she did her time. Ivy Supersonic. Everyone who knows that name knows, oh, that's the other chick Benji fucked, because there was like, 4 of them. And so yes, she was a hat designer to the stars is kind of how she was billed on Stern.
Okay.
But she also created Scrat, which I'm sure we'll hear a little bit about.
So is that the only story she has? This Scrat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it comes up a few times in this interview. It is. And by the way, it's really not an interesting story. I mean, like, it's interesting if you're at a dinner party and someone tells you this. You're like, oh no shit, really? Okay? That's probably more interesting than anything you're going to hear that night. I'll grant you that. But this Ivy Supersonic invented the squirrel at the beginning of the Ice Age movies. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you have kids my age or younger, then you know what I'm talking about. Like before the Ice Age movies, the little squirrel comes on the screen and tries to find the nut or whatever. I don't remember. Ivy Supersonic, what, drew that?
She said she created the character, went into a meeting with like Warner Brothers or whoever the fuck, and then they said, nah, we don't want it. And then it just appeared in Ice Age. And then she spent the next 30 years of life talking about it.
So they stole that from her. Well, probably stole it from her, which is like fucked up. And it's unfortunate that that's how Hollywood works a lot of the time. As Louis C.K. and many other creative people have said, when someone steals from you, the best way to go about it is to move on and create something new. Yep. But Ivy Supersonic has not done that. That's the one thing she had. It's not particularly. I don't know why. I don't know why Pixar just didn't draw a different squirrel. If I'm being honest,
or just draw a Shaq for a few grand to get her out of her hair. I mean, it literally would have ended.
That so seems weird. But
none of these technical difficulties on this first clip are us. They're all John.
It's a nothing story to me, but a lot of you guys, I know you philosophically, you probably disagree with me, and you're thinking, Mike, you got to get this woman on to talk about that for at least an hour over and over again. Guys, I can't. It's out of my hands. It's too late. She already did Stuttering John's show and did exactly that. So this is John introducing his guest.
Yes.
So we spoke a little bit about movies, and now we're going to speak more about movies this time.
Oh, good. I'm glad you
on the animated side.
We spoke a little bit about movies. Now we're going to talk about movies again. What a host John is. He's a regular Carson.
And that fills up another 10 seconds. I'm doing it.
All right. And this time, which really kind of deals with Pixar, I believe. No, maybe not. Well, she'll be here to tell us.
Why do any research? Who gives a fuck? You know? You're having a guest on, but let them talk about themselves, Johnny. You don't need to know anything.
What it is,
And you can't see this, Mike, but he put on a nice collared shirt for the interview. He doesn't wear collared shirts that often, only for the ladies.
I have heard that John addresses it in this. He goes, I don't know how to wear a collared shirt, which I don't know what that means.
He doesn't. It doesn't look like it was put on right. I don't know if like the buttons were missed.
Does he stretch it out? What's?
Well, it kind of looks like it looks like a 1920s jail shirt. And then the collar is not correct. You know how you have a collar that bends in a certain place and you're supposed to bend it at that certain place? He just seemed to bend it in another place. And so he looks like he picked it up off the floor after 3 months of being stuck in a corner and just put it on because there's a lady on the show today.
Okay. To me, it seems like a kid, and I can't see it as well as you. To me, it seems like a kid that's been tugging at his collar all day, like a kid that had to go to church or something, and he's just it's just so I don't like it.
And his jet black hair is growing out, so his roots are all gray, and his hair is black. He looks like a skunk.
Someone said they were talking. I remember that Clay Dabbler clip we played last week.
Yes,
I think someone this week. John was trying to teach Clay Dabbler square roots. And he's like, "What's the square root of 64?" And Clay's like, he didn't know. He's become Eric the Midget, I guess." And so Chatter said, "The square root of Stuttering John is gray," which I thought was very funny.
That's pretty good.
Please welcome my guest, Ivy Supersonic. Hello, Ivy.
Hi.
It sounds like John is entering another dimension.
Yes, and we got like Ivy's tech is not good. This is not gonna go well. No.
It sounds like Ivy is on John's television screen, and John was watching a show, and all of a sudden the character's like, "John, come in, come on, join us." And he's like, can I walk into the television?
And make sure you wipe some Vaseline on your lens, because that's what it looks like over there.
To see you after all these years.
Yes, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on. This is a very exciting topic. I love talking about it. It's a cartoon that I created called a Scrat. You may know it. 20th Century Fox grossed $10 billion. Yep.
Yes. Well. This is.
Hold on. I don't want to get too bogged down in the Ivy Supersonic aspect of this. Is she under the delusion that she is owed $10 billion from Pixar?
And under the delusion that appearing on the Stuttering John show will help in any way. So there's a lot of delusions going on here.
Wow.
I got to say, it's part of the Ice Age films. I think Ray Romano and Dennis Leary had more to do with that than Ivy Supersonic.
I think schizophrenia is definitely a diagnosis here.
John Leguizamo might have something to say about this.
I gotta say, if anyone owes us money, it's her, because I watch those goddamn Ice Age movies and he never gets a nut, and it like always depressed me. So I left those fucking family movies depressed because of you, Ivy. Where's my money?
It is very sad.
A fun fact, he did get the nut at the very end. They released like a 30-second video when their studio went defunct, and it was just maybe to fuck with Ivy Supersonic, but it was just Scrat getting his nut. Fine.
Well, that's heartwarming.
Yeah.
Defunct, isn't it Pixar?
No, it's what she said, Warner Brother or whatever. It's yeah, that animation.
I was just listening to John. I did the same thing John did. I was fooled.
That animation department closed up shop. They don't make movies anymore.
That's great, because I just assumed John saw Pixar and then like lost confidence in it. I didn't realize he was just wrong. He's like, it's Pixar, or maybe it isn't.
You know, those cartoons that look round on the shaded, those are Pixar, right?
The lamp that jumps on the eye is, which one is that now?
That blind guy that does that show with that Pixar guy. I'm a Pixar guy.
Everybody who doesn't know, which I can't imagine, because I have 3 kids, so I watched all those Ice Age movies. And I know it was with Ray Romano and Dennis Leary. But I will tell you, Scrat, for everybody that knows, is the little squirrel. Is it all right?
Well, he's part squirrel and he's part rat.
Come, John. Come to the other side. Join me.
So there's a conjunction, very simple like for children. SQ for squirrel, RAT for rat. Scrat.
It's
There you
great that
go.
she's talking about a cartoon because it sounds like she's coming from a cartoon universe.
It's like
It's
Wile E.
actually-
Coyote's chasing her or some shit.
It's oddly artistic in a way.
Also, got the Scrat hat on, Scrat shirt on. She's scratted out.
Yeah, good. No,
And
I'm sure
he's
she's gonna make a
all-
lot of money with this fucking. Now that so she won the lawsuit, I guess, after 30 years or something. I'm sure she's gonna spin this into a real empire.
He's trying to get that acorn.
Trying to get his nut.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm-
Yes. We both
Yes.
yes.
This is a very serious topic.
He said that yes, like he was listening to the army major talk about Kamala or something.
Yes, Senator. Yeah.
I'm coming back. I'm feeding back. So let's see how we can fix this.
Get
You
in there,
have your
John.
computer
Roll your
mic.
sleeves up.
I have my, I don't know if there's a mic, but it's in the computer system.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Do you hear that? Turn your speaker down a little bit.
Oh,
Is this
I don't
is this
know.
woman from another era where she's way worse with tech than John? Where she's like, the microphone lives inside the computer. I can't change it.
Mike, she's too busy with scrap business to worry about
I
this
understand. That is
technological
all- it's all
future.
consuming. I get it.
Find out where to find it even.
Oh, you gotta go to your settings on the bottom.
Okay,
She had to
I'm
put
a
her
real
glasses
girl
on.
with this kind of stuff. I see the word mute and then settings. Okay.
Well, hit settings
Now
and then go.
I should mention this interview. Like we heard John say, "No, we talked about movies. Now we're gonna move on to movies." You might think he did a long segment before this interview. Nay, my friends. He talked. Well, there was 4.5 minutes of showtime before Ivy Supersonic came on. 3 of those minutes included the song that John plays every week. So a logical person would say, "Hey, maybe have what's her fuck on before the show, test out her microphone, say, hey, this is a crazy person,' and like, listen, Dylan from Somewhere's mic was like kind of crackling. It wasn't that bad. Like it was tolerable. I'm sure people will complain about it, but it was like fine. This is maddening. This is insane to sit through.
Yes. I was working hard back here trying to make that thing listenable. My God.
I mean, like little stuff like that, I don't really mind. If it was this, I'd be like, Dylan, what the fuck are we doing, man? This is crazy.
Go
Audio.
to sound.
That must be audio. I'll go there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then output, like you'll see your speakers, just just turn down the volume on the output a little bit.
How
You'll
does
see that
John know they
slot?
have the same computer? Like,
Well,
what's
I think
making
he's
him
talking.
think he can diagnose this.
Well, on that one, because they're probably both using StreamYard, so he's just giving her like StreamYard
Oh, it's on. I'm
instructions.
sorry. I thought it was computer
Yeah.
settings. Gotcha.
No, I think he's just like, but what he said was turn your volume down. I don't think that's the issue. I think
Yeah, make it so no one can hear you or the noise. And
Yes.
problem solved.
No, you need to pick the right microphone, baby doll.
Slide thing on the bottom.
No, but I see this word echo cancellation. It has a check.
All right, but on the bottom it has the output
No, yeah.
volume.
No, you definitely don't want that echo canceled. You want to make sure echo is in full use.
That was amazing.
Echo. See, I did it that time on purpose, Mike.
Did you see
Good.
that?
Oh, good. Turn off echo cancellation and leave that for the rest of the show.
Now that I did that mic volume, is it hold on, any better now? Wait, what am I
No. You're
No,
lowering.
it's much worse, actually.
This is kind of horribly wrong.
Why
Your
would
mic.
volume possibly? Listen, I'm certainly not a tech guy. Does this seem like a volume issue to anyone?
No, it's just something he saw there. He's a clicker. He's like, click on this and click on that and click on this, and then eventually it'll work.
Turn your volume all the way down. That'll solve everything.
Mike.
messing it all out? Oh, okay, hold on.
So
Okay.
go back and turn your mic back up.
Can I do reduce
Now
mic
he's
background
echoing.
noise?
Try that.
Okay. Echo cancellation. Should I put that on?
Hold on.
Why do you keep asking that?
Because he's clearly an expert. He knows his stuff.
That's true. We are watching, like, John is usually horrible with tech, but we're watching someone who looks at John as a master. Like, how does he know how does he know the computer has a microphone? I'm not showing him that.
Hello.
Hello.
Echo
All right, now do me a
cancellation.
favor. Turn your.
Hello.
All right. Do you see on the sound on the bottom output volume?
Yeah, I see the word.
Well, the good news is we can't hear you anymore because you've turned your volume all the way down.
So it's letting me do this word audio, and then my choices are echo cancellation, reduce the mic background
No, no,
noise.
no. Go to sound. Go to the tab that says sound.
Is it plugged in? Okay, so plug it in.
She's in sound, dummy. Where do you think she got echo cancellation?
Go to
No, go to
sound.
sound.
Yeah,
Go to
no,
sound.
clearly volume was in the visual settings.
Go to internet, and then I'll help you.
I just have a different kind of computer than you.
There should be an output and there should be an input.
Hey,
Yeah, it's the, we're never gonna figure this out. But
She's given up. God, man, imagine if every explorer had her will. We'd never be anywhere.
we'd just still be in Europe or in some cave in Norway.
John, this is impossible. No one has ever been on a podcast successfully before. How do you expect me to do this?
Let's just give up. Hey, we'll talk anyway.
communication speaker headphones and a speaker headphone jack. Yeah. I don't know. I want to say I suck.
What
That's
is
a really
John doing?
bad word to say, but I'm not going to figure
You
it out.
have? Do you have headphones?
That'll solve everything.
Actual speaker I could plug in. Will that help? It'll
Yep.
something
Yeah. No, just plug in a. Yeah. No, that'll help. Plug in a speaker and turn it all the way up. That'll be good. Turn your.
He's nodding. Yes, that's it. Do that.
Turn your computer volume down, and then plug in a speaker and turn that up.
All right.
Perfect.
Just blow on it. It'll fix it.
How old is this? Like, I guess older people have problems with technology. This woman would have to be 175 to have this many issues.
It might.
We'll try it. You're gonna be loud. I have this speaker. Let's just try it.
All right.
Anything better?
He doesn't care.
Let me hear you.
Can you hear
No.
me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Let me hear you. John, you could hear. She said, is it any better? And she sounded terrible. And John's like, it's tough to say. I don't know.
We'll have to deal with it.
Okay.
But I'm feeding back. It just stinks. I just wish that we can.
Can I say something, by the way, that I just want to acknowledge in the middle of this?
Your show, Mike.
We could. Thank you. I was actually asking permission. I'm glad you gave it.
Okay.
Like I just said, like with Dylan from Somewhere, or like it's happened with Austin Ingalls in the past, or whoever. Like, audio issues happen all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's really not a big deal. Like, if it happened on Craig's show, we would goof about it. If it happened on this show, maybe we'd be cringe of the week on Carl's show. You know what I mean? Like, that shit happens all the time. What's fascinating to me is, like, we'll goof on this and we'll do a whole thing about it. And then, like, if John ever catches wind of it, he will get angry. Like, he'll get mad at us. And that's what's interesting. Is like, how do you not see this as funny, John? It's happening right in front of you. Like, this is funny. It's honestly not John's fault at all. Like, this is funny that this woman is so inept and that it's ruining John's show. That's, of course, funny. If it was happening on this show, it might annoy me in the moment, but then the next week we'd talk about it and joke about it and it'd be funny. That's what makes John so great is, like, if you make fun of, if you go into his super chat and make fun of him, he'll get angry. He'll get mad. And that's what makes John the pearl, that even when you think he's boring, he always comes back because he is so ignorant and so dense.
Just figure out how to turn your output speaker down.
Having issues.
I gotta say, I'm not a tech guy. I don't think that's the issue.
No.
Turn your output speakers down. John, it sounds like she's trapped in another galaxy. I don't think it's the output speakers.
Remember, this is the tech guy that got Sam Kinnison's brother to leave the room when he said leave the room.
Possibly
which might
the greatest moment in broadcasting history.
I am 100% there with you, man. I could watch that over and over all day. Just that is comedy gold on.
Go out of the room and come back in. And if you haven't seen what we're talking about, John was interviewing Bill Kinnison, and he was having audio troubles. And John goes, "Okay, leave the room and come back in." And Bill Kinnison stood up and left. and came back.
Funnier than anything his brother ever fucking did. That's the crazy part.
No, bill pay.
What kind of computer do you have?
Hold on a second. Go back. What? Bill pay?
So we can.
We are in a completely different app. What are we in? Bill pay?
She's like, I bought StreamYard. Does that work?
How did she?
No.
How did she get to this? What is she doing?
She's in StreamYard buying a month of StreamYard.
She's buying an account now?
Yes. What if he works with StreamYard and he just gets these boomers to buy accounts? That's his whole thing. He's affiliated.
Just figure out how to turn your output speaker down.
Having issues.
Well, that's apparent.
No, bill pay.
What kind of
Bill Pay.
computer do you have?
Catch that.
It looks like an Envy, a Sony Envy.
All right. And is your setting?
That does nothing.
That meant nothing to John.
Might as well tell me a piece in your car
John,
engine. Oh yeah, I don't know what that does.
In that moment, John realized he asked an utterly useless question. She could have said Mac. She could have said it looks like it's a rotten banana that I found in my fridge. Those are equally valuable answers to John. They mean nothing to him.
Sony. Okay, let me write that down.
Sony. Classic Sony issue.
Let me get into the Sony help desk real quick. I'll help you.
Or is it? It should have say audio.
But
There
yet,
should be a
it's
tab.
amazing that there's no humor. Like, if I said, "Hey, Dylan, what kind of mic are you using?" and he's like, "I have a Yeti or whatever," I'd be like, "Why?" I'd say, "Why?" I don't know why I asked that. That is utterly useless. John's like, okay, Sony. Well, then this is impossible. There's no way we can fix it.
I got a punchline for you because it was abominable. Heyo, get it?
I don't actually.
Well, those out there, because this is a snowman. It's a Yeti. Oh, Yeti's an abominable snowman. God damn.
I gotcha.
I'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your
That
waiters.
is what I would like. It went over my head. I apologize.
Just on the bottom, it says the word mute, stop cam settings. I went to the
hit
settings
mute.
before.
After you pay.
That's perfect.
You want to call me back?
Yeah, just pay, put in your credit card information, and then mute your mic. That's clearly how you fix this issue.
These two are made for each other. They should date.
We
get there. We get there.
Oh yeah. No, don't worry, Electra. Electra, you probably think there's no way he hits on her. I hate to tease, but you are wrong.
Oh shit.
But yeah, these two should do a show together.
To do this, I'm trying to figure out. Do you have any headphones anywhere?
I do. I have. I don't know.
Go see if you can find some headphones. I'll stall and then come back
I'll
in.
stall. That's always what you want to hear on a show. I remember Letterman doing that a lot, where he's like, "Hey, listen, Tom Cruise is a little late, but I'm gonna stall."
Okay, close my picture. So
All
you
right.
don't have to look at my.
All right. Anyway, so let me just. So Scrat is the squirrel rat.
So, anyways, I'm gonna tell the entire story that she's on to tell.
Nonsense story. Here we go.
that always tries to get the acorn and was at the beginning of the Ice Age movies, and it was entertaining.
All right. Next up is Let's Try Again.
Hold on. It was entertaining. What are you, 5 years old, John? It's for children. But
Hey, they were
John
kinda good.
goes on to tell this woman's entire story before she gets back. Everything I outlined. He's like, she made the cartoon for Pixar. He got that wrong, but whatever. He like tells the whole story, and then he has her on to repeat the story 45 times.
But anyway, so I was on Facebook, and Ivy Supersonic said, "John, do you want a Scrat T-shirt?" I said, "Sure." And she said, "All right, can you Venmo me $50?" I'm like,
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That's $50 for a T-shirt.
That's a great sales pitch. Do you want a T-shirt? Yes. Okay, we'll pay for it. Oh no. So listen to what a good friend John is. Oh, if there's money involved, go fuck yourself.
I'm like, oh, I thought you were just giving them out because I personally have so many fucking T-shirts. I don't know what to do with them. From the Stern show.
That's one of the biggest problems in John's life. He's got. I've always said that about him. He's got way too many T-shirts.
Too much variation. That's what I think. What it's...
Ivy Supersonic. I would love nothing more than to give you $50. The only problem is, I am up to my eyeballs in T-shirts. I'm swimming in T-shirts every morning.
Quit buying them in pairs, asshole. That wouldn't be the case. You brought this on yourself.
I just have so many It's not that you don't have $50 to give her. You're a cheapskate. It's that I just have to. Like, here's what I would say. I don't want her fucking T-shirt because I think it's a hideous piece of work. Why would I give it? But John is like, no. The only reason is that I just have. You guys know this about me. I just have so many T-shirts.
That price point too, $50. God damn,
my OCD
$16 a
forces me to buy
Yeah.
a T-shirt every day.
I love that it's so
Two.
specific.
I gotta get
It's
2 of the
50.
same ones.
Yeah, 50 is crazy. I think like the standard, like high is $30 for a T-shirt. Usually it's like 20 or 25, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to a concert, I can see paying like $40, $50 for
If
a
you're
t-shirt
at the
because-
concert, yeah,
Correct. Yeah, but T Public does sales all the time for $16 T-shirts, and they're awesome. So that's a
I
ridiculous.
think
price.
I think we sell them on blindlike.net. I've never checked. Don't buy them because I don't know how to get the money. So
Wait, I bought a hat. You didn't get the money?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's Craig's Zinn money. It goes to help Kamala Harris.
Craig can have it because I can never figure out how to get it. So,
It's not much, Mike. I gotta say.
but I think they're like $25 or something. 50 is crazy.
Yeah,
For
she's
stolen art. This lady stole from Warner Brothers.
she's like, well, I'll make it back with the T-shirts, I guess. $100. God.
And by the
damn.
way, Ivy Supersonic, if you're watching, don't tell me the rebuttal to that. I know I'm wrong. I've heard the story. I get it. Please don't waste my time.
Ivy, please come on. I'd love to fuck with your audio for an hour.
Night show, the fucking all the bars I've been that I played at, and fucking I got so many shirts, and and I don't need any more shirts. And
It's
that's
an
a lot.
embarrassment of riches, really. The man just has. He's been blessed with shirts.
Shirts are his money. I pay with shirts.
These are currency to me. I will give you 5 shirts for a shirt. I have a surplus of shirts right now.
They're all sweat stained, really gross. But they're
So then
yours if you
we
want.
started talking, and she said, "Yeah, I created Scrat." I said, "What do you mean you created it?" And did you
I
find
can't
them?
imagine that's how the
No.
I can't imagine someone said, "I created Scrat," and the response was not, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It was, "Oh, really? You are the great creator of Scrat? I assume that must have been Larry David or some other entertainment genius."
Well, what's actually going on here is he's like at the bar stool telling everyone he created the Kardashians, and so he's found someone like his ilk. Oh, you sit
That's a good point. Yeah.
just like me.
No, that's like an endless, no. But am I better? Is it better?
No, but we're gonna have to deal with it. See, every time I talk, it just feeds back.
Yeah, I know.
So, and now, could you turn your
He's echoing.
you turn your
It is.
microphone up?
It is to say it's not better is not true. I don't think because we don't have
A
the.
little better.
It's mildly better.
Maybe John didn't hear that because that's exactly what it sounds like when you're high on whippets. So maybe he just had a flashback where he's
He
like,
has
"Oh."
that ringing in his head forever now.
Yeah, just wah, wah, wah.
We'll try. I turned it off. Hold on.
Oh, it's back.
Set
I need to hear about Scrat. Would you two hurry up and fix this?
things. I'm very unmechanical. Camera,
I'm mechanical.
audio. Okay. Mic. Okay. I got
Just
a
yelling
P4
words that
mic,
are adjacent to
presentation
sound.
mic.
Decibels.
Level. Fader. Groupie.
Okay, I'm trying. Adjust the mic. Okay. All right. I'm at 154. How is it now?
What the fuck
Just
is
turn a
that?
little louder.
That's on StreamYard. You can go above 100% to like 200%. So she's at 154%.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, more louder? Okay, hold on. I could go to the.
More louder.
I can go to the. Hold on. Okay, I got 200.
All right, that's good.
John's a beauty. Just there's no change at all. A minute she goes, "Is this better?" And he goes, "No, it isn't." She does nothing to fix it, and now he's echoing more than he was before. And she goes, "Is this better?" And he goes, "Yes."
That's an old engineer trick of her music. Like the singer doesn't like their. I can't hear myself. Oh, all right, and then all right, I turned up. Oh, now I hear myself. You didn't touch anything. It's a psychological trick you play on people. It's fun.
That's John's like, hey, like you can't, go up and play video games until you've done your homework. Have you done your homework, John? Yes. Yes, I did. He just wants to move on. So he's like, yes, no, now it sounds perfect. Now it sounds like you're in the room with me.
All right. So, Ivy, go ahead and tell your story.
Okay, so
He's echoing way worse than it's worse. Now it's worse again.
Yeah. Don't even think about muting yourself, John, while she's doing that, so you can actually have a show. God damn.
Yeah. Now, now that the audio is so good, could you tell the story that I just got finished telling?
This one's called Psychic.
Oh, this just gets glossed over, by the way. This woman's insane.
Yes. And keep in mind, Benji dated many of these kind of women.
Good for him.
I have a vision. I am psychic. You could watch my movie, ivysparanormal.com.
John's just like,
that's
yes,
where the movie's.
sounds good.
Didn't see Warner Brothers coming. Hey-oh.
Can you imagine if Dylan was just on here and just is like, like it is like Steel Toes, obviously ripping you off, and it's just interesting because I had a premonition this morning. I'm psychic, as you guys know, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, and I just didn't phase me. I was just like, yeah, no, okay, I nod.
Well, that wouldn't phase me, Mike, because we all here know that you're psychic. You picked that goddamn moving date. You got Lauren Compton pregnant. You got some magical powers.
I did not get let's squash these Lauren Compton rumors. Listen, what
like
she and I did is it's our business.
We're still waiting for the date when he gets arrested.
Who's that?
Ivy's
Oh.
Paranormal. And I had a vision. You may not understand what that means, but that's okay. So I had a vision, and I heard, Scrat, it's $100 million.
That's not vision, by the way. I'm pretty well versed in this. I'll put it this way. I'm not having visions of Casey Day and Electra right now. It's called hearing them.
You should were magnificent.
I had a vision where someone yelled at me.
Like $100 million. It's $100 million. So I froze for 10 minutes, but I kept hearing $100 million. Scrat, it's $100 million. So I called my boyfriend, Michael Anderson. He worked for Fox. And I told him. What?
John sounds like he's in a movie. He's one of those big, like, floating heads. Hello, are you coming with me now?
He didn't listen to anything. He just attached himself to the end word.
That's what's amazing is
Mr. Anderson.
John spits out a very topical movie reference. But this is that's John's time to chime in as an interviewer. The woman just said, I had a premonition. I was psychic. John is silent. He's stoned. It doesn't faze him in the slightest. She says, my boyfriend, Mike Anderson, he's like, oh, perfect time to ham fist a reference in here. Mr. Anderson. And that's going to get a lot of laughs at home because no one's ever heard it before. So I'm glad that he fit it in. But what's beautiful about it is the audio is still so bad that no one can hear it.
He's like, I don't know a movie that starts with psychic. Just wait, she'll have one. Yeah, Anderson, there we go.
Perfect.
Let's try again. This is called After 15 Minutes.
Okay, so now remember when she goes, hey, is this better? And John goes, yes, absolutely. And it wasn't. John just sat through it for 15 minutes. And then it's kind of like, if you're listening, you just get used to it. It's like, who even really cares at this point? And yet John says, let's give it another go.
Hey, Ivy. I really want to get to the stories, but the problem is,
She's been explaining it for 15
It's
minutes.
too
by the
long.
way.
It's too long. All right, let me shorten it down. So
no. It's
Go
not
back.
you.
I want to hear.
No.
It's so clear where John is going, and this woman is on such a different page. It's great.
All right, coming back here a little bit. Sorry, I felt things hard to move around here.
So anyway,
Hey, Ivy. I really want to get to the stories, but the problem is,
we don't have time. It's too long. It's too long. All right, let me shorten it down.
No.
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
you. It's the audio.
Located the problem.
So, so do me a favor. Can we? I mean, like, is there any way that you can get to a like a CVS and get some head?
The likes are killing me. Like, and it reverbs right, reverb, like.
Like.
Today, I consider myself like the luckiest man.
Phones that you can plug in, and then
Hold on, listen to what he's asking. Can you imagine having a guest on your show and going, how about you just go to CVS and come back? John, just say it's not going to happen. Either it's going to happen like this, because this is a crazy lady who doesn't know what headphones are, or it's not going to happen. Don't ever go to CVS while you're live, by the way.
come back.
Insane request.
I didn't catch that the first time. That is
Yeah, go
fucking
back a little
ridiculous. Yeah.
All right, let me shorten it down. So
No. It's not you. It's the audio. So,
It's me.
so do me a favor. Can we? I mean, like, is there any way that you can get to a like a CVS and get some headphones that you can plug in, and then come back?
Yeah, are we live right now?
Yes.
Even she finds that insane. She's like, but aren't we like on?
Are you psychic? You don't even know if you're fucking on. What kind of psychic ability is that?
Meanwhile, there's alien transmission going on in the background where John's like, go to 7-Eleven.
Maybe John thinks all of this is like a Huft-induced coma that he's in or something from the fucking nitrous.
Maybe John hears this all the time.
I think that's
We
it.
are. Okay, so I just have headphones in my house. I could scour my house right now. I know I have at least two.
If you had headphones, it would make it so much better.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because I'm
It's
feeding
definitely the
back.
only
It's really
problem about what's happening right now.
He's stuttering hard too. He's stuttering so hard right now.
annoying.
I just want you, while you're here, look at my nice shirt with the scratch, which is copyrighted.
Yes, you have beautiful tits.
Ivy
Now, please get some headphones.
He's like, I've been looking at those tits the whole time you're here. What are you talking about?
Disney owns half of my scratch, and it's banging. Mickey and Minnie, they're having a threesome. There's, it's
Oh, how
very
lovely.
perverted.
$100 million.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will put that to good use, and that shirt will make a lot of money because it's fun to wear out. You're at a nice restaurant, and the waiter says, "Ooh, I love. What is that shirt?" Oh, well, of course, it's Scrat from the Ice Age movies, fucking Mickey and Minnie simultaneously.
How we like it. All right, hold me up. I'll be back. I'll look for these headphones.
Or just go to the 7-Eleven and get some headphones that you can plug in.
The 7-Eleven.
All right.
What 7-Elevens? Oh, LA 7-Elevens are a little different. We do have like weird shit here.
Really? I would not think
yeah.
7-Eleven would have headphones, but
Yeah, headphones and burner phones and all sorts of shit you can buy.
good for them. It seems like it's like a Buc-ee's.
And full alcohol anytime you want. It's great. LA's awesome, baby. Well, he's not in LA anymore, but get rid of your background, man. You don't live here anymore. Fugazi.
Hollywood.
Okay,
All right.
put me on hold.
All right. Sheet Citizen, I'll get to your question. That's not a problem. So essentially what happened is her boyfriend gave it to Fox.
And then he goes back into telling her story again. Well, she's going to come back on the show. That was the whole point of having her on. Every time she's on. And I got to say, John telling the story is more interesting than her telling it because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. But he launches into, like, I'm trying to think of an equivalent, but if you had a guest on to only talk to them about one subject, like, it would be like if we had like the Aussie guy on to talk about that interview with Aaron, but we did the whole segment where we break down the interview. and didn't let him on. And then we're like, all right, Aussie guy, what was it like going into interview Steel Toe? It's like, well, you already talked about it, asshole. United States of Australia, by the way. I guess I didn't plug his show enough. He was angry about it or something. It's very weird, but
well, that happens when you sleep in. I mean, wake up, stay up, and you get been on the show, and you get
right. United States of Australia.
Yeah, well, that's on him. Much better this time.
And that is so horrible. And I told Ivy this story that happened to my sister. My sister, when she was young, if you guys remember the World Wildlife Fund. Oh, she found headphones.
I did pass it left.
Oh, now it's perfect. Oh, good. We're so glad you're back.
Let me pause my story about the World Wildlife Fund to listen to the same audio that we had before.
Ben?
I did it. Hold on.
Oh, it sounds pristine now. Don't change
All
a
right.
thing.
All right, do you hear me?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. I was kidding. I was kidding. I forgot John said that. I swear to God.
Perfect.
He said perfect to that. I've heard a lot of sounds in my life.
Oh my God.
I would not think that one. If I'm ranking them, this one is not near the top.
I think this explains his music career, though, because you hear those songs, perfect.
Just as I had imagined it would sound.
Mensa.
So Ivy, I was telling the story just so what happened to my sister, the World Wildlife Fund, she wrote a letter to the World Wildlife Fund with the total cartoon, like a comic book. And
this is where John proved what you said earlier. I forgot about the Kardashian thing. But this is where John proves what you said earlier, where John like seeks out other scumbags that latch on to one thing. Now, listen, what Disney, if fucking Disney or whoever stole her art and used it as their own and didn't pay her, that is wrong. Like, it's fucked up.
Absolutely.
But honestly, she got way more mileage out of that story, it seems, because it's all she ever talks about, than what she would have gotten if Disney was like, here's 10 grand, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and John seems to be like, what? I'm not paying attention, not paying attention. Okay, now my turn to tell my tale of theftery of my art.
So that's what this is it's an opportunity for John to be like, oh, I am also a scumbag that thinks the world owes me everything.
Good call.
Owl. And the slogan was, give us a hoot, don't pollute. She wrote the letter, sent it in.
That was a Melendez original? I knew it. I knew it was too good to be the World Wildlife Fund. That had Melendez written all over it.
They're like, should we sue the WWF for billions of dollars, or should we deal with this quote that we got from this letter? What do we do here at the World Wildlife Fund?
Well, turnabout is the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, sued what is now WWE to get their name changed. Turnabout is fair play here. Stealing from the poor to give to the rich.
But there's a fucking animated thing out for the World Wildlife Fund. Give us a hoot, don't pollute. It's the owl that has to say.
I hate to say, and maybe they did steal from John's sister. Do you know how incredibly easy it is to come up with that? Hoot is just about an owl's greatest catchphrase. and I got news for you, John. It rhymes with the word pollute. Not a ton does necessarily, but hoot is one of those beautiful words that just fits exactly what they were looking for. So I often say that most of joke stealing or stealing like that, like a lot of it's parallel thinking. Now, again, maybe they saw this letter and they fucking took it. What is that really worth at the end of the day? $40 million? Like, what is it worth? A life-changing amount of money that she said, give a hoot, don't pollute, and they used it? Like that it's a, you know what it is? It's a story where you go, oh, really? She thought of that first? Good for her. That's kind of interesting. John thinks that the Melendez family is owed generational wealth because one of these retards once said, give a hoot, don't pollute.
Can we recognize also it's a charity? It's not like they stole a piece of art from it's a I set up a charity. They owe me money.
That's a good point. Oh, these fat cats at the World Wildlife Fund.
Moving hippos out of the wild to be somewhere safe. Where's my cut of that hippo?
That's a great point I didn't even think of. It's like the slogan is trying to stop littering. And John's like, oh, these dirty pigs.
That was our idea to stop littering.
And my sister was like, that's my owl. That's my slogan.
That's my
And
owl.
they just stole it from her. So and this is just like another one. So get to where your boyfriend sells.
Get to where your story's like mine.
Get to the joke where the two Jews walk into the bar and say they own the place. Now tell that. You spoiled everything, John. You already told everything.
We know why they're in the
thing I
bar,
already
John.
said.
They're already drinking. We know why they're here.
Fuck.
I just want to say that just as how it's easy in America to walk into a CVS drugstore and just rob the whole store and walk out with half the store.
No, I
and
only
it's
asked you to
illegal.
buy the headphones. You weren't supposed to rob them.
The CVS instruction's wrong.
YouTube's terms of service. I did not tell her to rob. I told her to go buy a pair of headphones. YouTube terms of service.
And then you go to jail, but then you get out because whatever. This is how
Yeah,
it works
that old
with
chestnut.
What did that have to do with
You know the old gem that they say about, like, you know, when you go into a CVS and rob the place and you go to jail because of whatever. Like, that's a tale as old as time.
That goes in the
I'll,
Bible.
I'll pass it down to my kids, and I assume they will tell theirs.
CVS verse 1, chapter 10. John's fun fact.
Oh, this is great. There's nothing better than when a Melendez fun fact gets cut off by someone who already knows it.
Bought this. Do you know what this is?
That's Steamboat Willie.
This is
No.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
No, it isn't.
Oh, that's right. Oswald, his first character.
So Walt Disney, before he started the company Walt Disney, he worked for Universal Pictures.
I know the whole story.
So he made.
No. I'm sorry, Ivy. I am smarter than you. So please don't tell me information, even though you are my interview subject, and I brought you on specifically to talk about cartoons. Please don't tell me anything about Disney.
This is like when you go to SportsCenter, they're like, no, you saw the games. We're not going to show you anything. You saw it. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, if I had a guest on, like why you laugh? Like if I had Christian on, why you laughing? And he told a story about Colin Quinn because he worked at Saturday Night Live when Colin Quinn was there. Go watch the episode; you'll hear the whole thing. But if Christian told me something about Colin Quinn, I wouldn't go. I already know, Christian. I'm smarter than you. I know these things. It should know. You tell the now she can or he can tell the story instead of me telling it. She can tell the story instead of John telling it. But John is so insecure about it. He's like, no, I know I got the Steamboat Willie thing wrong, but I know everything there is to know about. I know more than you do. I invented Scrat.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
And they took
then-
it from him.
So what happened was he left that company and started his own, and he stole it back. So he based Mickey Mouse off of Oswald the Rabbit. So
Yep.
that's what Mickey and Oswald look alike.
Oh my
so,
God.
So Mickey is a stolen character, based off a stolen character.
Everybody
This-
steals everything, apparently.
This,
Oh,
you know,
well
now-
said,
what,
John.
Mick-
John. You didn't just go there, did you? Oh, you are speaking truth to power, my friend. You go, girl.
His real name was
Yeah, Mortimer.
Mortimer, and then his wife's.
Now he's doing a quiz. I'm going to quiz you on your own story.
You know what Mickey's real name was? Yes, I do. Well, I got more fun fact. I'm going to get you on one of these. Do you know which planet is closest to the sun?
Let's see how much you really know about Scrat.
How much? If I drank 3 beers in an hour.
Said, no.
Lillian. Yeah, his wife is named Lillian. My mom was Lillian too. His wife said, no, it's got to be Mickey. And
Yep.
his mother was named Flora. So here's the
Hey,
catch.
are you going to get offended by these super chat
Oh,
questions?
God, hold on. Before we get there, he goes, yeah, she's giving these facts that he was going to try to impress her with. And then still has the ball, like she's rattling off all the facts. And he's like, yep, you have passed my test. Now he launches into, they're going to call you a cunt for $2 a piece. Do you mind?
Welcome to my world.
I don't know. What are they saying?
Sheet Citizen, I'll ask for John Ivy. Do you do third input?
That's sweet.
No.
Don't worry, they do it to every one of my guests.
And if they don't, I will ask.
Yeah, I'm sure they ask every guest you have if they take anal. That's probably true.
Rob Saul, they ask like 10 times a show.
That's true. But like, John, take a day off of reading super chats. Like, again, if this was the structure of your show, why not just say like, hey guys, just so you know, I'm not going to get the super chats in the first hour. I have a guest. If you don't want to send them, that's fine. But if you want to send super chats, I'll get to them once we say goodbye to Ivy Supersonic. Because obviously I'm not going to ask her if she's a third input gal while she's talking about this lawsuit that seems to mean a lot to her.
Yeah. Don't say you're not psychic, Mike. The next one's called Super Chats.
It's amazing to watch someone like Ivy Supersonic is a horrendous guest on all counts. From the sound to the content pouring out of her mouth, she's a terrible guest. And yet John, with his inimitable grace and style, is still able to pull out so that he's the horse's ass in this situation. It's pretty impressive that she is served up on a tee. Hey, John, let me be the one to be made fun of for a day. And John says, no, you're not stealing my glory.
There we go. All right, listen, Ivy, I got to read some of these because people get mad. Karen Margolis.
Okay.
Thanks for the $5. Hey, Ivy, are you into girls at all? Also, do you have a hairless clam or is it full beaver on down there?
What an absolutely charmless asshole. Electra, you got a hairless clam or what? Come on, show us your twat. Let's go.
Well, it's funny that you should mention the beaver. So let me tell you about the beaver. So my scrat is the
Okay,
beaver.
so this woman's just on a different planet. She doesn't even know what she's answering. Thank God, quite frankly. I don't have any cartoon clams, but it is funny you mentioned beavers.
I did have an idea for beaver. I took to Sony.
And they fleeced me pretty good, and I've got a lawsuit pending.
I know this sounds really crazy. So it's such a hard story to say, but my scrat that was drawn by the next guy was a piece of clip art. Do you know what clip art is?
Oh, you cut it at just the wrong time. He goes, no, which is my favorite.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty I follow those numbers pretty. I try to look around if there's another word or two. But
no, it was like probably the same second, but he just goes no. And she's like,
kind of like
well, whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This one's called Skilled Interviewer.
Well, I mean, you guys probably already know, but like I tried to get away from the technical difficulties and the super chats and just show you how John is as an interviewer. I think he's pretty nimble and quick on his feet. It's pretty interesting to watch.
It doesn't even have twirl and a rat. So what they did was they copied mine and they made 3 also. 3 fingers, 3 toes. They copied the nose. They copied all these things that have.
I got it.
Hold on, John. In a weird way, I mean, he's a horrible asshole, but like I kind of got to give him credit because she just repeats this over and over. And John, so delicately, and it's very subtle, you barely even notice it. But in order to get her to move on from this thing that she's repeated over and over again, he goes, I got it. Listen, you dumb hole.
It's I have a feeling the ex-wife heard a lot of that. I got it.
Yeah. Hold on, I got to just read some of these. Michael Gavin Ali Show, thanks for the $5. Hey, John, you can't figure out to do an interview or work your computer, LOL. I said you, John, to come on the MGA. Please come on. I don't know who you are.
Then why read it? Hey, John, I got an idea. Maybe don't even bother reading it if you don't know who the fuck the guy is and he's asking you to do his show and you don't want to. Why bother?
Because it was $1.99, Mike. Also, does he sound like Chewbacca right now? Is it, he has his thing in his throat. Why does he sound like that?
He's very worked up about this. The scrat gets him all riled up.
Mr. Zanus, he's a good guy. Ivy, when you and John inevitably end up making whoopee, will you use the Scrat voice in bed? Yeah, this
Okay,
is the
hold
question.
on. That's a good question. It's a good question. He says, this is where John uses the super chatters to get to the bottom of the question that he really wants to know, which is, will you fuck me? If I'm willing to fly to Los Angeles, will you have sex with me?
I needed this in 8th grade. Jenny likes you. Well, I like Jenny too. Put that in my super chat.
All right, I've got this folded piece of paper. Choose 1, 2.
You know about the folded piece of paper. That's awesome.
And I'd like to know.
Well, I don't know if I know how to do the Scrap voice because Chris Wedge, it's just
This is,
sound.
for her sake, a great time for her audio to stop working. She's like, what was the question? I don't even really know. I don't understand it.
She is a county away from the microphone. She's so far away.
Can you teach me, John?
Oh, don't say that to him. Don't
She
say
just she avoids the subject entirely. He's like, I think that's a really good question. Which, again, what a skilled interviewer. He knows a good question when he sees one. Would you fuck the host of the show?
we got to ask that to all the...
one.
Yeah, I was going to say, we
Dylan.
got our minds went there at the same time.
First and foremost, Dylan, would you suck my dick?
Clip that.
I think Dylan would have a fun answer to that, but
He would.
well, I've never performed that on someone before, but I think I'm willing to.
He might say gosh first. Gosh.
So where do people go to buy this?
Well, you have to just send me an email. You have to go to
Great
my
business
social
model
media.
she's got set up. Email me.
And then send $50 for a fucking $15 t-shirt. That's how you get that.
Unless, of course, you have too many T-shirts, and then don't bother.
Can I get 2 for price of 1?
Send me an email if you want to buy a shirt. I don't have that many left. They're collector's items.
All right. Well, if you give out
Sure
your
are.
email, people are going to send you a lot of bullshit.
So can you go to my Instagram and
Good.
write me?
John's like, oh, well, the one stream of promotion you have, don't do that because people might email you. You know, that's what she's soliciting, John. She's soliciting emails.
Ivy Supersonic, I want you to meet Ian Hawk. Ian Hawk to Ivy Supersonic. He will be doing business with you now.
Write me in the Instagram. Just look at Ivy Silverstein. You'll see it, or Ivy Supersonic. You can't.
And
really
it's
miss things.
Silverstein. It's with a B, right?
Yeah, it's with the B
He
for
has
boy.
made it
Yeah,
virtually
yeah.
impossible to find her. How obnoxious.
Silverstein?
Is there any bit of her personality that she wasn't like, let me make it more obnoxious? Silver.
All right,
Yeah.
and let's see this one.
Yeah.
Noga be good stick. Yeah, I like that one.
Scrap the
Ivy,
president.
I like when I hear Electra's laugh on that one. But that one got her. Just for Which is, that's a reminder of how ridiculous. Like, John is a guest on, and he's reading the name Noga Be Good Stick.
love it. Ivy, Stuttering John can cut up a rug with his scrat toes. Skolin. Don't worry, these are going to be insulting, but if I can take it, you can take it.
Who are you to decide that?
That's what Diddy said. Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Let's go.
Rev
I'm not
Fugly, Stuttering John, show this broad the cum on the back of the mic. There's no cum on my mic.
why is he so wet? Why does he
Hold
sound so
on.
wet?
I think we might need to timestamp that one. Send it to Craig for the outro.
Oh, 3:14:50. All right, we're gonna have to listen to it again then.
We've got another drop that Craig will never add to the outro, but I like it.
If I can take it, you can take it.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Rev
I'm so-
Fugly, Stuttering John, show this broad the cum on the back of the mic. There's no cum on my mic.
There's no come on my mic.
It's a demonetizer, but it's funny as hell.
It's a great thing to have to yell.
Wadfather, I never thought I'd miss Rob Saul. Hey, be nice to Ivy. I like Ivy.
Hey, John, if you didn't read these, she wouldn't know they weren't being nice to her. It's actually, this is the opposite of, this shows that John is the antithesis of Howard Stern, where Howard was so skilled at this. And I remember like Chris Rock pointing it out years ago, where like they went to the phone calls And Chris Rock's like, "Oh, so this is the part where everyone calls me an N-word for you," and like he called out what Howard does, like how Howard uses the phone calls. John is the opposite of that, where he uses the chat to say things he doesn't want his guests to hear, but reads them anyways himself.
Yes. Much like Aaron, like manipulates his super chats and doesn't put them up, and this guy's the exact opposite. He's sort of like the Anchorman guy. He just, I'll read whatever you put up. Let's go.
Well, it's even better sometimes when he cuts himself off halfway through, so that you know it's something he doesn't want out there, but he's the one that presented it.
Gotta finish this sentence.
People, I don't know. Are these what kind of fans are these? Are these people in a basement just like?
I will say,
jerking
I'm so
off?
glad they fixed her audio.
Yeah,
It's a good thing she went to CVS.
I've never seen anyone drink Red Bull like that. I've been around a lot of people recovering from the night before, and he gulps Red Bull like it is
Oh,
Coors
really?
Light. It's
not
cool.
it's not a yummy beverage that you
No,
want
and,
to guzzle down.
and it hurts if you drink it like that. It's like
I
painful.
can only
So
imagine. Yeah.
his throat has no feeling of sensitivity. He's totally numb.
What is going on?
Pretty much. There's 50% fans, 50% trolls.
Where does he get that number?
Like,
Where
like
are all the
maybe-
chats that are like, "Hey, John, great interview. This is amazing content." Where are those chats?
Mike, you don't see the day-to-day war breaking out in his chat from the 50% of people supporting him?
Hey, you
versus
guys,
50%?
knock it off! Lady K's a queer. Get out of here.
Maybe he's just given an outsized weight to Rob Saul and the guy that makes the clay.
Yeah.
They're worth more.
Yeah.
You like me, you're worth $1 million.
Ian Many. Listen, I want you.
Are
to
you
know your
D-cup?
first show.
There it is. There it is, folks. We knew it was coming.
Where did that come from?
What do you mean? He got tired of waiting for it. He's been holding his boner for 20 minutes. He finally had to say it.
Again, to
Seriously,
make
just ask that.
Yes.
well, it's Electra. It's what we've all asked you, and you won't tell us. So credit to John for having the guts.
Electra, can you give us a size?
Of her?
You don't have to do that.
No, you.
Of me? No.
But this is what. But Howard.
That's how
would-
you react.
AAA.
Shut up, you two. This is where Howard would finesse that stuff into the conversation. And you saw there, it's again almost like parody, where John's like, do you have big tits? You have big fat tits? Where Howard would kind of present it where it's like the guest wouldn't even really notice that he's doing it necessarily. And, maybe it got tired over the years with Howard doing it, but like, this is just charmless.
I want you.
Are
To
you
know your
D-cup?
first show. I think it would be.
That's not a B cup.
Those are big fat tits. I've been thinking about them the whole time. You're telling me
Staring at him for 20 minutes.
You know what happens? You get skinnier. Maybe it's a. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's. I don't know. Yeah, it's a B.
Well, they look pretty big from here.
Yeah. It's a good
Jesus
shirt.
Christ.
You buy this shirt, you'll look good too.
this woman always selling. Yeah, that's good for John's male audience. Hey, if you buy this shirt, it'll look like you have big fat tits. That's what I want.
No lie detected from his audience. by the
They'll
way.
be good. Stuttering John
But
unblock
this
your
whole story,
Gmail account and he responds no.
John is not
What?
listening. I mean, to be fair, she is just yapping away. Like, who could possibly give a fuck? But she is a guest on his show, and John is paying her no mind.
That blame her is the next
It's
one.
historical.
Well, she is a wacky lady. So let's see how John manages to very politely kind of suggest that she isn't necessarily the greatest guest he's ever had on.
Groundbreaking.
All right, now let me Vagina Wrinkle 13. Thanks for the $2. I love how prepared you always are. Such a pro. Hey, look, man, I can't help it if she didn't have headphones. I mean, it's
Yep.
Flair Randy, worst Stuttering John show I've ever seen. There we go. Hashtag cat lady. Don't worry, Ivy. There'll be nice ones too.
John, you just said it was her fault. Remember a second ago when you just said, I can't. The only problem with this interview, as we've seen, we've proven this. The only problem with the interview is that this wacky bitch doesn't have headphones. That's the one and only problem. It's not that she is off the charts bonkers. She is bouncing off the walls. John's a terrible interviewer. The sound is bad. It's just that she doesn't have headphones. That's the only issue with this interviewer. Not definitely what that super chatter did not mean. I'll tell you what they didn't mean. I don't know what they meant necessarily. I'll tell you what they didn't mean. They didn't mean that John didn't even know the studio that she was suing when that's the only thing she wanted to talk about. That's not what they were referring to as being wildly ill prepared.
I get them all the time. It's all hate.
Oh, good. Well, as long as it's
here
just
we
hate,
go.
then. As long as they just hate me. That's what I wanted to get out of this interview.
Yeah, it was 50% fans, and we've gone to all hate. That happened quick. That happened quick.
Rev Fugly, thanks for the $5. Man, you attract the least entertaining people like flies to shit. Don't worry.
Nice.
We all had a good laugh on that one. Everyone was laughing on screen.
That was
on
a
that
good
one.
chat. Yeah.
First of all, Ivy, okay. So
Let me tell you something. I fought Fox and Disney for 25 years. You think that these comments would bother me? Really?
nice.
That's the spirit.
I haven't got over this thing 30 years ago. You think I won't get over this chat and not be talking about it for another 30 years?
She is a zany lady. She is just like, she's like a little yappy dog. There's no discouraging her. You kind of admire it in a way.
Charmer.
Oh, this is more of that John suaveness that we've come to know and love. If there's a lady in the room, Mr. Steal Yo Girl over here is going to come and grab her by the arm.
You hope by the arm.
Well,
I actually like you. And hold on, I do want to tell some stories. Walter Matthau's Harry S. Crack, thanks for the $5. Ivy, you are an extremely attractive woman. I agree. With a nice
Aw.
rack. Do you think your looks have helped or hurt you in your business career?
Oh, well, that would, well, of course they helped, but obviously, I guess they could have hurt. I mean, maybe my stuff wasn't strong.
I don't think she knows like what a sentence or a thought is. Well, they obviously help, but they could have hurt. She's just a nut job, this lady.
The funniest part about that is business career. He said business. I think that's
a good
the joke.
Yeah, it's wild. Like Disney had to deal with this lady. That's crazy to me.
It makes me think that the shit that Disney has to deal with is off the charts. We don't
have
even
no
know.
idea. Yeah.
Like there's a million for every one of her. There's a 10,000 scrats coming right behind.
And here's the thing: it's like, yes, I think it's an evil corporation, probably, but you got to be fair. Maybe we made them that way. Maybe they dealt with one too many Ivy Supersonics, and they're like, you know what? Fucking, let's suck the blood out of these people. Who cares?
Have you had sex with anybody famous?
That's a good question, John. Hey, John, it's always best, just like Howard would do it, just blurt it out of nowhere. But hey, you're gonna coax her, Johnny. I mean, Smooth Melendez. He knows how to coax a bitch into getting exactly what he wants out of her.
Me?
Yeah.
Of course.
Who?
People.
Oh, give me one name.
She's obviously doesn't want to talk about it. That's clear. But John has the very skillful interview style of saying, "You owe me this, you bitch. Give me a name. Come on."
No.
Pretty pleased with Sugar on Tommy Lee.
Oh, now he's reversed course after going, "Oh, come on." Then you reverse course to being a little boy and go, "Please, can I please know who you had sex with? I want to know so bad so I can jerk my little pecker to it later."
No, that's why we're still friends after all these years.
So he guessed Tommy, or she said Tommy Lee, but
Yeah.
he.
And then John just has nothing. He's like, "Come on, will you please tell me? Come on."
The little guy got two more here.
Oh, okay. Well, this is John's ultimate fantasy, where he's like, we can take down these big corporations. What John doesn't realize is like he worked for the biggest radio show ever, as a franchise, the biggest late night show ever. I realized it was bigger when Carson was there, but like the Tonight Show is the biggest late night show ever. He worked for the Howard Stern Show. He worked for these big corporate entities. And yet John is like, they always fuck us here. They always do this to us.
Let's see. Rev Fugly, thanks for $5. She carries around posters of achievements like me. I get why you like her. I bet your Reno poster is right next to you, isn't it? No, it's actually not.
I think they meant Leno.
Hey, listen, she's proving her point. She's making a legitimate argument against Fox and Disney. And I'm on her side here, you idiot.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, how many stories is it like? Look at the fucking, look at the Winklevice brothers.
I knew he'd pull it out. The old Winklevice brothers.
I could watch a show of just him saying Winklevice for an hour.
Okay. Well, you know what? John, that's a great point. A lot of people have been fucked over, just like this Scrat lady. Much like the Winklevoss twins. I know John butchered the name. We all make mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers. Their name is Winklevoss. And if you're not familiar with them, if you haven't seen The Social Network or you haven't kept up on them in recent years, they are two billionaires who made their money in the crypto space. So that's who John is talking about when he says, like, look at these poor downtrodden guys that had big tech step on them and squash them like bugs. Who are you talking about, John? A pair of billionaire twin brothers, the handsome, good-looking billionaires, you know?
Known as the Bitcoin Bros. Bitcoin Bros. Yes.
Right,
so
right.
yes, very successful.
Look at the Winklevice brothers.
Yeah, the old
Those guys
Winklevices.
got fucked by Mark Zuckerberg. And the other guy over at Facebook. They got
The other guy
screwed
over at Facebook he's referring to was played by Andrew Garfield in the movie, also a billionaire. So look at these poor guys that could, rubbing nickels together to make dimes. They just can't catch a break in this crazy world.
You can make an argument that the Winklevosses have had it better because they haven't had to deal with federal government in their business.
Absolutely,
they just
got
invested in
Facebook
Bitcoin
and
and
still made billions. Yeah.
yes.
You know what they did? It's interesting he invoked the Winklevoss twins. What they did, like they sued they felt it was their idea and that they were owed money, whatever. Like that all played out, as you saw in the great film The Social Network. And then they moved on and they had another idea and said, let's invest in Bitcoin. And it made them billionaires and people have written books about it. And they have a company based around that. They had another idea, which is what people like that do. And that's why they're where they are. And John is talking to an insane woman on the internet about a cartoon squirrel rat.
I like to think in another reality, we're sitting here watching John talk to the Winklevice brothers about how they lost Facebook and they're wearing T-shirts about Facebook. We own Facebook. We were the Facebook.
The Winklevice brothers. Yeah, their audio's terrible. They can't set anything up.
Yes.
Well, big time.
Yeah, John, I wanted to tell you.
Someone out there give Mike some whippets. He's got to experience this sound, and for real, that's what it sounds like.
It happens all the fucking time. It happened to my sister. I know it happens.
The big
when you
two,
talk-
the Winklevoss twins and John's sister.
And the fact that he's not bringing up the Kardashian thing is just proof that that's such utter bullshit. He can't even bring himself up to lie about it at this point.
Right.
Told me the story. I said, come on the show and tell the story.
Wow.
All right.
He's a champion of the little guy.
Our last one, Mike. More chats.
All right, good. Let's get the hell out of here because I got a date with Scott Hansen here, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
Let's
me
move.
too. Me too, baby.
So my dad was an attorney. You know?
Ivy, hold on. Do you know Mike Judge?
Yes.
He
Yes,
created
yeah.
Beavis and Butthead, and he lost the rights to that to MTV. MTV, so he doesn't make any money off of it anymore. So thank God that he went and developed.
Also factually wrong. God damn, he's so wrong about that.
You want to hear wrong? Hit play.
Family Guy or whatever.
Nope.
It is. But I mean, please, they always screw the artist.
How could you get that wrong? How?
No.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Casey. It's not like the creator of Family Guy is famous and has been all over the place. Like, it's not like we know him at all, you know?
He
So
probably
that's
did Leno's
easy
show a
mistake.
bunch of times.
No, that's crazy. He's not out there. He hides in the shadows. Mike Judge, Seth MacFarlane, what's the difference? But again, John, you're right. Mike Judge is a great example. A guy who created King of the Hill, I believe is what you were thinking of.
Yes.
Silicon Valley, Idiocracy, like all these things that a lot of people really enjoy. He moved on. Mike Judge could be on this show bitching about 30 years ago when he created Beavis and Butthead. But instead, he'd moved on to other things.
No, that's Johnny K from Ren and Stimpy. Hey, that's an animation joke because he never did anything after Ren and Stimpy. He was kind of like Scrat. That's my Scrat.
Is that the guy Billy West worked with, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I remember they had him on Howard. I remember listening to that.
Yeah, that very good one when they fought. That's a good oldie but goodie on Stern.
Yeah.
John Skippy Halloween, and thanks for the $2. Get ready for this sex pest to hit on you. I'm not hitting. Ivy, am I hitting on you?
No, you're good.
Am I hitting
Godfather.
on
A sex pest. That's a great name for Stuttering John.
Am I hitting on you?
Rob Saul, save us. Oh, will you be nice to Ivy? She's a sweetheart of a woman.
John, you said these are going to be mean. Buckle up. Why are you acting like you're shocked by this?
And they're being mean to him too. And he's like, "Oh, they're just being mean to Ivy. You fat stuttering loser. Oh, they hate you, Ivy." What? No.
That's a good
Does
point.
anybody want to buy a shirt? I have the Tommy
No,
Lee
we
for
don't.
sale.
But how do they get it?
Well, can they write me
She
on
told you
Facebook?
this already, John, and you told her not to promote it.
Write me on Instagram and write me on
All right,
Instagram.
everyone follow her on Facebook and Instagram, Ivy Silberstein.
Yeah.
A vagina wrinkle, 13. Thanks for the $2. I wish it was Andrea Yates did on your house. All right, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, we got shirts.
Oh, John's afraid that her shirt is going to get him copyright struck because Mickey Mouse is getting fucked in it or something.
All right, Blind Mike. That's all the clips for today.
Well,
let's continue
that was fun just because it was a nice break from John. He doesn't mention the dues payer. He doesn't mention Lady K. Like that was a nice respite from what John's been up to finally get to make fun of him again. You know.
She was the respite?
Yes. She was a breath of fresh air, Electra. Is that not what you took from it?
No, because she got Scrat taken out of the Ice Age movies. Because she did actually, they settled. They both have ownership of the Scrat character now.
Yeah.
And they can't put him in the movies anymore. That sucks.
Great,
She's like a
great move
supervillain.
by Disney, by the way. Great move by Disney to be like, yeah, fuck you. We're just not putting him in. We don't need you, lady.
Matter of fact, we don't need this whole animation studio. Bye. Tax write-off. Get out of here.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.